Random things.
Random things. Random things. Random things.
Random things.
Random things.
Random things.
Random
Random
things.
things.
Random
Random
things.
things.
Random things.
Random things.
Random things.
Hello, this is Hakon with yet another pointless episode about completely random things. And today, the random thing I'm talking about is to do with cassette tapes. We all love cassette tapes. Well, the ones who love them, and the ones who don't. But in its time, it used to be an amazing new format which was introduced in the 60s, early 60s by Philips as the compact cassette, which was intended to be a compact form of tape to be used for dictation, first of all, because it was quite clunky, sort of working with reel-to-reel tapes like these on a reel-to-reel machine, and everything contained inside a cartridge or a cassette made so much sense. Anyway, I'm not talking about that today. That's a story for another day, perhaps, or a story that you might find elsewhere on YouTube. We all know what a tape looks like. It's comes in a pretty standard case. You've seen these before. A tape goes in like this. Sometimes there's a sort of paper covering the whole side. Sometimes it's just this J shape, hence it's known as a J card, the insert. And the tape is protected by being down in that part of the case. And the card comes out, and in this case, it's got extra pages with more information. Actually, it's got lyrics to every single song. There you go. Oh, and it's also hard to fold in the correct way. I think I got it right. So now, what's interesting about that, you might ask? I recently bought some bulk job lots of cassette tapes, as you do. And I noticed something I hadn't noticed before, and maybe others haven't, so they might find it interesting too. This is a TDK recordable tape I've got. I don't know if they still make these, but there's certainly similar things are made today. And I noticed it had sort of rounded edges, very nice, very nice. Not like the completely squared off ones that you get in your traditional tape cases. And then I noticed it is actually narrower than the standard case, which I thought was interesting because I hadn't noticed that before. So if I can make this thing focus, and I can put this on top here, you can see that the TDK case is significantly slimmer than the standard case. Okay, so that is interesting. But, well, first of all, of course, one of the reasons the cassette tape came about in the first place was to be a compact and portable format. So you would want the case to be as compact as possible, right? Well, it's possible to do even better. Now, with the standard one, the widest part of the cassette tape is actually at the thickest part of the case. So if you do it the other way around, you get a cassette tape and a case that looks like this. The slimmer part of the cassette is in the thicker part of the case, and up here is the wide part of the cassette, and the case itself has even been Actually, you can see it better on the other side. It's been shaped with a little bit of an indentation here to better accommodate the shape of the cassette. The only problem with this design is, of course, the insert has to be smaller. It has to have this this bit up here cut out to accommodate the tape. Now, this wouldn't really be a problem in terms of adding liner notes to a cassette, because this could be, for instance, distributed in a paper sleeve, a cardboard sleeve, and inside the sleeve you could have a booklet with further information, and in this case it's actually part of a set, which probably is the reason why they made it so slimline. And this, compared to, let's see, let's do like this, and we compare it to the standard cassette tape, you can see it has a significant and huge saving of space compared to the standard. And also because the there's less air inside the case, the case would also be less likely to crack. So if I shake this, there's not much moving about inside. If I shake this, not so much either because of the liner notes, but if I get something else like with a normal, just a thin J card, no extra, there's a lot of air in here, and that means if you get any kind of pressure points on the case, on the crystal case, it may crack. And of course these do crack very easily, especially the all crystal ones, which I think this actually used to be one with a black back, but somebody has replaced it. But of course generally the black backed ones are more solid than the crystal colored ones, or the colorless ones, the transparent ones. So there you have it. There are three different, well, there are more styles of cases, but these are the sort of three standard sized cases I've come across. And before I got into tape again, I didn't even realize there was more than one style of these. So I found that interesting, and maybe you found it interesting as well. And if you did, then please like this video and make a comment if you like. And I'll see you again next time I find a random thing to make a video about. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.